Hello and welcome to Food as Fuel, our series on the subject of food and the science of nutrition. I'm Nicola Moore, a registered nutritional therapist and head of clinics at the Institute for over 10 years. At the Institute for Optimum Nutrition, we've been promoting the fact that food and nutrition has a huge influence on health for over 35 years. We're not really interested in all the different fads of different dietary regimes that come and go. What we're interested in is looking at the evidence and where the evidence is taking us with regards to what we understand about nutrition and also what we understand about the human body and how the food that we eat connects with things like our hormones, our digestive system, our immune system, and our nervous system as well. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be covering the building blocks of foods, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, and how they all work together to keep us optimally healthy. We're going to start this week by looking at protein. People often think of protein as being really important for muscle growth, and if people are looking to do things like lose weight and build lean muscle, they'll be working hard to get as much protein into their diet as possible. And that makes a lot of sense because, of course, yes, muscles are made primarily of protein, but protein does a lot more than just help us build our muscles. It's important for things like cell communication and transport around the body. It's involved in how your liver processes and detoxifies things. It's involved in some of the hormones that we make as well. As you get older, your requirement for protein is going to go up. Also, if you're unwell or if you've had surgery, the same thing applies. So working on always asking yourself, where is my protein coming from, is actually a really good thing for you to do, because that will really have it as a key focus in your mind, which will support your health ultimately. So when we eat protein, it's digested and broken down into small component parts called amino acids. Now, protein as a nutrient is an essential one, which means that we have to eat it. We can't make it ourselves. So we have to make sure we're getting protein every single day. Now, out of the 20 amino acids, 9 of them are considered essential, which means that they can't actually be manufactured from the other amino acids. It's about thinking about the different types of protein perhaps that you're eating too, to make sure that you're getting the full complement of amino acids you need and in the levels that you want. I think of amino acids as being like Lego bricks. When you eat a protein food, it's broken down into lots of different coloured Lego bricks and different shapes of Lego brick, and they're absorbed and then they're used in the body to be built up, maybe to make some tissue, maybe to be a transport protein, or maybe to support your liver with some of its detoxification processes. And these amino acids are built up and broken down all of the time. So when looking at the amino acids, there are 9 that are considered essential, and you want to be having those amino acids every day, and you want to be having them in the right sort of levels as well. Now, the benefit of eating animal proteins is that they do contain these 9 essential amino acids, which makes them a complete source of protein. You can get these amino acids from eating a vegetarian or vegan diet as well, but sometimes it can be a little bit harder and a little bit more thought needs to go into how you're mixing your different vegetable proteins up to ensure that you're getting the right balance of the different 9 amino acids every day. You don't have to worry about this being in one particular meal. Over the course of 12 or 24 hours is absolutely sufficient. Examples of how you can mix your different vegetable proteins up would be things like lentil dal with a brown rice, or baked beans on some wholemeal toast. By doing this, you're having more opportunity to get the 9 essential amino acids in with that meal. Now, one of the brilliant things about protein is it keeps you full for a longer period of time than some of the other foods, for example, the carbohydrate foods. So making sure you have some protein in your meal is going to be a really useful thing for you to do to help keep you full and satisfied for longer. This is because protein slows down the digestion of other foods that we eat. Now, the benefit of protein keeping you fuller for longer also means it's very supportive for your overall energy levels. So if, for example, in the morning with your breakfast, you're focusing on protein, it's likely to have a really positive impact on how you feel later on in the day, your food choices, and how hungry you feel. Okay, so how do we make this practical? Well, there are 3 things I think it's worth you considering. Number 1, always ask yourself, where is my protein coming from? So when you're thinking about what you're going to make for dinner, or when you're in the shop thinking about what to buy, consider where the protein is and ask yourself, do I need to add more in? Number 2, do I have a range of different proteins in my diet? This is especially true if you're a vegetarian or vegan, because you really do need to have the range of different vegetable protein sources to make sure you're getting the full amount of those essential amino acids that you need to keep your body working well. We know that having a wide and varied diet is really the most important thing for helping us to achieve good health. And number 3, think about the ratio of the protein that you're eating in your meal. So you want to make sure that you are having enough protein compared to the other foods that you're eating, especially if you're balancing it out with things like carbohydrate-rich foods. So if you're thinking about your meal, a protein serving would be something that you could fit on the palm of your hand here. An example would be a fillet of fish. So you want to be looking for that sort of amount of protein going into the meals that you're eating. And you want like a 50-50 kind of split between the protein and the carbohydrates that you're eating as well. So I hope that was helpful. That's all for today, but we're going to come back next week and I'm going to talk to you about fats, because fats is a really, really interesting and quite controversial subject, but I'd love to be able to talk to you about the evidence for fats in your diet and how they can be useful and supportive, but also how they can be problematic as well. In the meantime, it would be lovely to hear from you, to hear how you're getting on with your protein, and to answer any questions that you have as well. You can do so by using the hashtag ION Food as Fuel, and we'll really look forward to seeing you next week. Bye bye.